All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Resolution to Revenue Challenge. I'm so excited that you are here. I don't know about you, but it is snowy, it is cold, there's kids at home because school is canceled, and it's all chaos, but we are here, and you made a choice to be here today because there's something that you want. There's something that you want to happen in 2026 that hasn't happened before, and that is that you want to create your own source of revenue that you own, that you get to decide where it goes. And I'm so excited to be with you on this 3-day challenge. We are going to walk through what it takes to start your own virtual assistant business. Now, if you've ever been a part of one of my trainings, you know that we go big. And what I mean by that is that this is not just a kind of informational, kind of take one or two notes. This is a workshop, which means we are going to be working. I will have actual assignments for you inside of these 3 days. We're going to cover a lot. So I hope that you can be here each and every day. If not, we will send out replay links, but those who attend live are going to get the most support. We'll have a Q&A at the end of each session. We have some goodies to give away on day 3. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm so glad that you have joined me here today. I see you guys in the comments. We have everyone from Jules from California. We have from Memphis, Tennessee, Lisa from St. Louis, Lisa from Washington, D.C. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited that you all are here, that you have decided to join me live, even amidst the chaos that is all of our weather and things right now. I'm so excited that you are here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump right in because I bet you guys are ready. If you're ready, put ready in the comments because we are going to get started. Today, we're going to be setting your VA vision. But let's be real, especially a week like this week, you probably already have a lot on your plate, right? Maybe you're a mom, maybe you're a teacher working a 9-to-5 job, maybe you're an entrepreneur, but you just feel like, man, I already feel really overwhelmed. And you might be asking yourself, am I really going to be able to do all of this, right? Am I really going to be able to do this while I have all of the other things? You guys know what I'm talking about, the things, everything else that's on your plate right now. Am I going to be able to do this? But I want to reassure you, and this is what you're going to see as a theme over these next 3 days, is that there is a secret. And the secret behind where you are right now and where you want to be is not even what I'm going to teach today. It's not some, out there thing. What it is you. You get to choose. Every single morning, you wake up and you decide what is today going to hold. And so I'm going to help you today, and I'm going to give you some of the tools over this 3-day challenge to really structure your days, to know what to do. But at the end of the day, it's you. And we're going to craft this business around you and what you want and about what your freedom life is, because that's what it's all about, right? And that's why I do what I do. I love hearing these stories like Morgan saying, I'm freaking out. I booked my first long-term retainer from a post introducing myself. Toby, who says, yes. I just started S.A.V.V.Y system less than 2 weeks ago, and I landed my first client, signed contract, paid invoice, super excited to get started. And Alexa says, thank you, S.A.V.V.Y system. I want to cry, closing out March, signing on a new client, which brings my month to $3 shy of $4.8 thousand. And these are the stories that I wake up literally this morning. I'm combing through just more and more stories, testimonies, people who have decided that they want something different in their life and are taking action toward it. So what are we going to do today? Well, today we're going to leave with a clear vision of what your freedom life is going to look like and a simple action plan of how you're going to actually achieve it. I'm going to share with you my S.A.V.V.Y time saver formula, and this is going to carve out, this is the foundation, okay? So today we're going to be talking about you, your vision, your time, and then we're going to get really practical over the next 2 days. We're going to choose your rate. We're going to choose your services. We're literally going to create your packages. And on day 3, we're going to be talking all about marketing. So you will not want to miss any of these days. Now, to get the most of this experience, we do have a workbook for you. So you can go to the virtualsavvy.com/workbook, open it up on another tab. Some of you may have printed it. That's awesome too. If you didn't, or maybe you're on your phone and you can't have another tab open, don't stress about that. Just take notes, okay? And again, we will send out a replay of all of this, so you will have the ability to, do some of this if you have to afterwards. I definitely recommend, and I say put away all distractions. Your kids may be home from a snow day, so I don't know how you could put them away, but put on a movie, right? That's what I did with my kids. And just participate as much as you can. Do the actions like you're already here. So try and do the assignments and the actions while you're here, because that's just going to cause momentum to build. Now, I do want to let you guys know something very exciting this Thursday. You may have seen us teasing it. We have completely redesigned our signature program. We've been running the S.A.V.V.Y system in one form or another for almost 10 years now, which is crazy. 7,000 students have gone through the program, but we have seen a shift in the industry, and we have decided that we want to give you guys more support than ever before. So I'm going to be giving you details on Thursday of our brand new accelerator program. It's a 90-day program designed to launch your business, land your first client in 90 days. I'm so excited. I'll tell you all about it on Thursday, but just know that it's coming. If you want to get on the wait list, you can go to thesavvysystem.com. Okay. And one more fun thing before we jump in, we are actually going to be giving one person the S.A.V.V.Y system on Thursday. So we will do a live drawing here on screen. So if you want to be included in that, you will have to be live. So make sure you are here on Thursday. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and jump in. We've got all that out of the way. I want to know from you, how many of you guys feel like your life right now in this moment is at capacity? If you feel that way, write full, just full in the comments, okay? I could type it right now, okay? Whew, things are a little crazy right now, right? And we feel that, you guys feel that, and I get that. Like I am a mom, I am a wife, I am a friend, I am a daughter, I am a sister. Like I am a lot of roles right now, and sometimes we start to wonder, is there room for an and business owner and virtual assistant? Is there room for me, honestly, and something I want to do? And then I want to also ask you, how many of you guys feel like you're currently living what you consider to be the freedom life, right? Put yes or no in the comments, just a quick yes or no, okay? Because here's what I want for you at the end of this 3-day challenge. I want you to see the connection, where you are and where you want to be. Here is your life, which is full and it feels like it's at capacity. Here's where you want to be. Here's what your freedom life is. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in today's training. But I want to bridge that gap. We're not going to get you all the way there in 3 days, right? That would be a little miraculous. But if you can have the roadmap, if you can see the plan of, okay, here's where I am and here's where I want to be, but here's how I'm going to get from here to there, then I've done my job in these 3 days. Okay. So that's what we're going to cover. So we're going to start with this. Now, this is in your workbook. So if you want to open up your workbook, you can do that. I want you to, we're going to literally take a minute, okay? And I want you to go into the future and create a picture of what your freedom life would look like, right? Where is the end of the here's where you are and here's where you want to be? What does it actually look like 1 year from now when you're actively living your freedom life? Okay, so let's take a few minutes, right? I have a little countdown timer. So we're going to take a few minutes and just go ahead and journal this out, write it out, okay? Go ahead. I'll be quiet. It might feel awkward, but just do it. What does your freedom life look like? It's quiet, which means hopefully you guys are working, you're writing. And if you have a little bit of a Like, yeah, some of you guys are starting to post in the comments. That great. You can post in the comments. You don't have to post in the comments. This is, you know, whatever you decide. But um, love that, Nancy. Close to retirement. So good. Maybe you've paid off debt. Maybe you're going on a fully paid vacation. Maybe you've quit your 9 to 5. What does it look like 1 year from now? I'm living my freedom life. What does that look like? All right, we're gonna keep going. No debt. I love that. Okay. So the only way you will build this business is if you make the time to do it. Okay. We're going to get real practical here. You need a blueprint. Yes. But you also need the actual carved out time. So many of us have been prioritizing other people above ourselves for so long that we forget what it even means to do something for ourselves. And I get that, right? Like I love giving my time to other people, and it's hard to say no to other people sometimes, but if you want to make a change in your life, you do have to make a decision. Remember, this is you. What do you want your freedom life to look like? And how are you going to carve out the time to make it happen? It's time to say yes to you in your time. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, because some of you guys are stressed. You're stressed about having to do it all, to juggle all the things. And that's probably a sign that you should be doing less. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that could look like. So that's where we're going to jump into the Savvy Time Saver formula. So what does that mean? Well, the S in the Savvy Time Saver formula is to set your non-movables. So this is an activity, guys, that I do literally once a year at the very least, sometimes twice, where I really take a look. I actually track my time for an entire week and get a very honest look at where my time is going, right? What am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to in my time? And then you have a decision to make. What are your non-movables? These are non-negotiables. Like, I'm gonna do these things. I'm gonna take my kids to school, right? Well, my husband takes them some days, I take them some days, but like they got to get to school. I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to have time with them. I'm going to have a set off, like totally unplugged day. For me, that's on Sunday where I am just go to church. I'm with my family. We are just together, right? No work, no anything. Friday nights has become our Amazing Race night. Like my family and I, we sit around. We usually eat dinner on the couch on Friday nights and just watch 1 or 2 episodes of Amazing Race together. Like that's a non-negotiable for me. I'm sorry. Like that's real important for me. So what are your non-negotiables? Now, it may help you guys to literally in the workbook, there is something like this where you can write it out. You can get a sheet of paper and just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What we're trying to do here, guys, is we're going to create what's called your ideal week. Okay. Knowing that things happen. Okay. There's always room for grace. There's always room for like those last minute things that happen. But could you carve out what a ideal week would look like for you? If you can, then you can inch closer and closer to actually being there, right? It's adding, you can call it time blocking. It's adding some sort of structure into your week, right? Okay, so what happens for that? Well, if you didn't already, maybe it was in your non-movables, but if it isn't, I want you to advocate for your self-care, right? Before we talk about work, before we have anything else, because what I don't want happening is that you say, okay, I'm going to work on my business this year, but I'm going to give up going on my morning walks in order to do it. No, 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 no. Please don't do that, right? Like, I want to make sure that you are having time for relationships, having time for your health, right? And so, what does that look like for you? Okay. Tell me, what does that look like for you? What are some non-movables? I want to hear in the chat because I see a couple people saying that the live stream stopped for them. It still looks, but I want to make sure that some of you guys can still hear and see me. So tell me in the comments, just so I can know you guys are out there and can still hear and see me. What are some of your non-movables? Okay. Jim, good. Oh, good. Okay. I might be, it might be people's individual internets. I know with all the weather and storms and stuff, that's probably going to be, that's why we're sending out replays to everyone. Okay. I love it. Some non-movables. Good, 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 good. Okay. So make sure that those are in your calendar. So we're going to avoid all unnecessaries, right? So this is what you can do when there's a real honest look at your time. Maybe, is this anybody? Maybe the late night scroll. Oh, so I can't work at night. I don't know if you guys are like morning people or night people. I'm definitely more of a morning person. And if I work at night, like if I say, ooh, I'm going to work on my business at night, I won't sleep, which is really bad and it affects my next day. Like my brain just gets going and I cannot sleep. I will literally stay awake all night. So I have a hard cutoff. Like 5 o'clock is my latest ever that I will allow myself to do work. I also won't allow myself to watch Shark Tank. Is that anybody else? My brain just starts like it's literally like it's not allowed in my house past 5 p.m. because I just can't. So for me, I know that if it's nighttime and I start scrolling or if I, start thinking about like business stuff, that's actually bad for me because then I won't sleep and then my next day is just shot. So, what are those things for you? Is there something, maybe it's not just scrolling or TV time that is like the things that you need to kind of get rid of. Maybe that you've said yes to too many things. Like some of us just overcommit and it's okay, especially if you are in a season where you're going to be prioritizing your business. It's okay to say no to some other things. Maybe you signed up for the PTA for the 10th year in a row and just 1 year you could take a break, right? Or maybe there's another commitment that you've been doing that you just know and you've known for a while. I really, really need to stop doing this, right? And maybe there's not that for you, but what are those things? Is there anything that's bubbling to the surface, right? Because we've got to get rid of those unnecessaries if we're really going to double down and have room for our business. Binging, I don't know how to say no, Gloria says. Yes, I totally understand that. I have been there. I can cut down on my binging reality TV. Hey, I get it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with those, right? It's basically just like, I want my time to be intentional. So, like my amazing rice time with my kids on Friday nights, super intentional. Scrolling for 45 minutes at night just because I'm there, like that's not intentional. Like I didn't choose that. And I think that's the point of this whole activity is that like instead of our time just kind of dictating and our activities dictating where we go, like no, we have the choice to dictate where our time goes. We get to choose, right? And that's the point of this whole thing is that we get to actually decide what our future is. And that's what we're doing here. So, what time do you have left? So, hopefully, you guys are doing some of this. If not, this can be homework. But what I want you to do is, I want you to take a really solid look. Maybe you've never done. Has anyone never done something like this where you've literally pasted out your ideal week? I want you to come up with what would an ideal week look like for you. Now, for some of you, you work a 9 to 5, and I understand that the remaining time may be very small. People ask me all the time, Abby, if I'm going to start a business, how much time do I need? And I'm going to be real honest with you. I need you to find at least 5 hours. If you don't have 5 committed hours to working on your business right now, one, you can shift some things, right? Like that's a really good look at if I don't have 5 devoted hours, not distracted hours with like kids pulling on my shirt asking for juice or whatever. Like if I don't have 5 committed devoted hours, then maybe I need to look at what are some things that I could do, or maybe this just isn't the right season for me right now, and that's okay too, right? So what is that remaining time? That's where we put in our savvy time, right? So obviously the example I have right here would be somebody that, maybe doesn't have kids at home with them, or maybe it's like, okay, I actually don't have those 5 committed hours. What could I do? Well, maybe if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I could ask a friend of mine who's also a stay-at-home mom, hey, could I watch your kids on Mondays and you watch my kids on Thursdays, right? Maybe once or twice a week, I get away after work and I just work for 3 hours after work, and that's my savvy time, right? When's your savvy time going to be? Going to my local gym. I think you guys were talking about, I see Christian saying, going to my local gym, guys, hack, join a gym and then put your kids in the gym childcare there's usually a 2 hour max. And then you can work for an hour and work out for an hour. You get double time. I've known a few people to do that, right? So 5 hours a day or per week, good question. 5 hours per week. That is the minimum. Okay. I would say if you're wanting to start a business, then you need at least 5 hours a week of devoted time. Okay, so that's what we're trying to carve out. Where is that devoted time going to be spent? Some of you, yeah, Soraya is like, I've got the time. I just need to know what to do. That's perfect. Okay. But again, I would really, really highly suggest you come up with an ideal week, because there's so much freedom that comes in the structure, which is kind of crazy. But like, those like boundary lines you put on yourself and say, this is when I'm going to work, this is when I'm not going to work, is actually so healthy, and you're going to feel so much better about closing the computer. You're not going to feel guilty when it's open, you're not going to feel guilty when it's closed. You're going to be really intentional with the time that you have. So I really still suggest, even if you have a lot of time, right, to still carve out where is that time going to go, and be intentional, and make sure some of the things, like, are you advocating for self-care, all of that, relationships, and health, and all of that, is all of that in there too. Okay. And again, this is ideal, and so it might look different for every person. This is an example of what this may look like if you work a full-time job, a regular 9 to 5, right? Maybe you're waking up early, or maybe you're staying up late. Maybe it's those 2 nights a week, right? Kim says 3 to 5 hours a day. That's perfect. That's awesome, right? So we have worked with over 7,000 students, you guys. And so people come in at all different stages of life. We have, a work from home mom with school age kids that's able to devote a huge chunk, 30 hours a week on their business. And that's amazing. But that's okay if that's not you as well, right? Maybe you're fitting this into the nooks and crannies of nap time and after the kids go to bed, right? That's okay too. Maybe you are doing this as a side hustle because you have a regular 9 to 5. Guys, we've seen, literally have so many examples of students that were at every single stage of life. So I don't want you to discredit yourself no matter what stage of life you're in. It's just saying, all right, how am I going to make this work? Because again, what I said at the beginning is that this is customized. This is you getting to build your business the way that you decide you want to do it. All right. Okay. So this, and the goal is going to look different for everybody too, right? Some of you guys, I know my sister started a VA business. She took my course, started her own business, and she started it when she was homeschooling her kids. And literally her only goal was just to be able to like pay for a vacation. Because she was like, I just want to contribute in that way. Full-time homeschooling. She wasn't looking to like 10K months replace her income, anything like that. She just wanted to pay for a vacation every year. And she's still, years and years and years later doing VA work, even though her kids are now like teenagers and in college and stuff. And so our goals change and our priorities shift over time, right? And then maybe you guys, some of you said like, I can do this full time. That's awesome. So again, I think it's just about being really intentional. Okay. Awesome. So my question for you is, if you have your ideal week, right? If you've carved it out, what do you need to do to commit this plan to action? Because some of you guys are realizing, I don't actually have those 5 hours a week. And so I need to take an action. So if you know an action you need to take, put it in the comments. Maybe you need accountability. Maybe you literally, after this training, need to go put your cell phone charger across the room so that it's not by your bed, so you're not tempted to scroll at night. Ooh, some of you need to take the TV out of your room. Some of you need to ask a mom, could we do a 1 day a week babysitting swap? Some of you need to ask the kid's grandma or, your in-laws, like, hey, could you watch my kids 1 night a week? What is it for you, right? What is the one thing that you need to do to commit this plan to action? All right. And then I want you to let me know in the comments as well, how possible does this schedule feel? Okay. Because if it seems unrealistic, then it's probably not going to happen. You've got to be like, okay, if you're like, I can work 60 hours a week on my business, that's probably not super possible, right? So I want you to know, just literally comment 1 through 5, 1 being like, oh, I don't think I've really got it. 5 being like, no, this is actually possible. Like maybe you have to do a few of those shifts. Maybe there's, a couple action items to commit this plan to action, but how possible does this feel? Okay. All right. I see a lot of 4s and some 5s. That's good. Okay. Here's what I want you guys to do, okay? Because every single day I'm going to have an assignment for you. I told you this was a workshop, right? We didn't come, it's not a listen shop, it's a workshop. We came here to work. So you guys are going to get assignments. So The first assignment was just this savvy time saver activity. So some of you already had it, you did it. Some of you are like, oh, I still need to work on it a little bit. That's fine. I want you to come tomorrow because literally these are going to build off of each other. So tomorrow, when we're creating your packages, a lot of creating your packages and your pricing depends on how many hours you said you could commit on your business. So that's why it's important that you do the assignments. Okay. So you want to finish this savvy time saver activity. And then I need you to take this quiz too. Okay. So don't do it right now. Just go ahead and get the link, put it in your browser, write it down real quick, thevirtualsavvy.com/savvy quiz. So this quiz is going to help you identify your VA personality. All right. And that, again, we're going to use tomorrow to help you actually choose your services. Okay. It's really quick. It literally should take you less than 2 minutes. Those are your 2 assignments. Can you guys commit to the 2 assignments? Say, I commit in the comments if you're going to do it, and you're going to show up tomorrow with the 2 assignments done. Because what we're going to do tomorrow is we are going to discover your profitable skill set. You're going to walk away knowing, literally by the end of our training tomorrow, you're going to walk away knowing what services you're going to offer in your business. You're going to know your rate that you're going to charge, and you're going to have your packages decided all tomorrow. It's going to be a jam-packed day, but it starts with the work that we did today. All right. So I'm loving all the I commits in the comments. Again, this Thursday, we're going to be opening the doors to that 90-day accelerator. There is some info on the wait list if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, but we are leading up to that. I'm so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's do some Q&A. What is bubbling to the surface right now? Again, we're going to talk packaging and pricing tomorrow. We're going to talk marketing on Thursday. So you can ask those questions, but a lot of that is going to be covered tomorrow. I want to know from today's activities, what's bubbling to the surface. Or maybe you've tried to start a business in the past and you've come up against something, right? Like, what have been the things that you've come up against? Or what are the big, like, okay, I want to do this, but I'm a little worried about X. I'm a little worried about Y. I'm a little worried about Z, right? Like, what are the things that are bubbling to the surface? Go ahead and drop your questions in the comments below, and let's do a little bit of a live Q&A time each day. I'm going to reserve as much time as we need for Q&A. Okay. And I'm going to come into the comments here. Love seeing all of the I commits. Let's see, you can find the workbook. So my team can drop it in the comments below. It's literally just thevirtualsavvy.com/workbook. Okay. But we can get that on we can drop that in the comments as well. My biggest question is how to get clients. Yes, Britt. So on Thursday, we're going to be covering my top 3 favorite places for finding clients in your business. And it really starts with the people you know. Okay. Now it's not the only way. Okay. Because I am going to share some other ways. Because sometimes people say like, oh no, like I don't know any business owners. Well, you probably do know one business owner, just one, a real estate agent, someone who owns a food truck, right? Physical trainer, somebody. You probably know one small business owner. And just like you know one small business owner, everyone you know knows one small business owner, right? So one of the first things that we'll have you do on Thursday is I'm going to give you the exact template to send out to friends and family, even if they're not business owners. It's not like a weird, you guys ever get those like old, like those messages from friends that you know that they're like MLM, they're selling leggings or something, candles, and you haven't talked to them since college, and they're like, hi, Abby, are you reaching your goals this year? Da, 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 da. And it's like, I haven't talked to you in 20 years. That's not what this is. Okay. This is literally just a template that you'll send to people who are actually physically in your life. And it's just telling them about the exciting thing that you're doing. It's a really great template. So we'll start with that. But I have some other fun ways to share with you on Thursday about how to get clients. Okay. One thing at a time. So today we're tackling our time. We're going to tackle our rate and our packages. You're going to know your services tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we'll talk about how to get clients. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So the Y in S.A.V.V.Y. So there was actually S.A.V.V.Y. was S.A.V.V.Y times S.A.V.V.Y, uh, let's see, S.A.V.V.Y was the time study. So I can show you real quick again what that was. Yeah. So it was set our non-movables, advocate for self-care, avoid all unnecessaries, evaluate the remaining time, and reserve your savvy time. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Doubt I've suddenly lost any insight into my skill set. Well, take the quiz, right? You guys, we're gonna go to the virtualsavvy.com/savvy quiz, and that is going to help you. Okay, it's gonna give you a lot of ideas on the types of services that you can offer, your skill sets, and then we're gonna take it one bite at a time. Okay, you've got this. The virtualsavvy.com/savvy quiz. Oh, this is a good question. Kim asked, what are the best skills to have? Well, we're going to go back to this is about you, right? So it's not like what are the most in demand skills. We can talk about that some because it's important. But at the end of the day, it's really what skills and services do you have that fit your personality, that light you up, that get you excited about the work that you're going to do, and that are going to be valuable to business owners. So we inside of the Virtual Savvy, we really like to show you that you can start with some of the most basic skills: customer service, data entry, right? So like answering customer service emails, data entry, appointment setting phone calls, or scheduling social media, research. I mean, really, really simple tasks that just take that off of the small business owner's plate. And so we'll go through, I'm going to give you a massive list of services, but you don't need to know a ton. You need to know enough to say, hey, I'm here, I can help, I can take these services off your plate. You've got to think about this too, guys. Whenever you meet a small business owner that needs a VA, right? What are they needing? What do they really, really need? Most of the time, they need things that they're already doing off their plate so that they can do other things, right? Maybe they realize that they're not able to work with clients as much because they're stuck behind their desk answering emails and sending out invoices, and they know they need to be doing these activities, but they're doing these activities instead. So a lot of times what they're just needing are these simple activities taken off of their plate. And the good news is they're already doing those activities, right? So they already have a way that they're doing them. So it's like, okay, I can do email management. Well, are you expected to know every single email software that's out there? No, of course not. That would be impossible. I don't know every email software that's out there. However, if a small business owner is already answering their own emails, they give you the information of how to get into their email system, and then you take over the process that they're already doing. Then, of course, now that you're able to focus on it, for them, it was like something they had to get done. You're able to focus on it, then you're actually able to make it better, right? You can come in there and come up with better ways to answer their emails or to set up a filtering system or to, have template replies because you're actually able to focus on it, right? And that's how we can continue to add more and more and more value to our clients when they hire us, okay? So no, thinking like I don't think that I have the skills, that's what we're going to tackle tomorrow, is that you do in fact have the skills. Um, let's see. Yeah, I get this. I think for me, it's just I'm worried about failure and not standing out with the services I can offer. I feel like I can help so many people, but how do I keep from stretching myself thin? And Kiera, so much of it comes around the boundaries, right? Again, you don't have to have 100 services. We're gonna narrow it down to 5, 10, maybe at most like 15 services that you offer, and then we're gonna create simple hourly packages. So if you found 10 hours a week today that you can commit to your business, your biggest package for now will be a 10-hour package, and that's it. So if somebody does your top package, boom, you've sold out your services, right? Then we can talk about, okay, are you happy with that amount of income or do you want more income? And then there's ways to go about that, okay? It's, do you have more hours? All right, do you want to start subcontracting? There's a lot of ways to grow your income even beyond the hours that you have, but that's where we start. Okay, we got to allow ourselves to be a beginner. And so you're not going to stretch yourself too thin because you've already told your time where it's going to go. That's literally why we do today's training. So, so good. Ooh, OBS, how to deal with pricing negotiations. So we actually have an entire module on this in our Savvy System course. Is kind of dealing with those objections. How do we deal with when somebody is like, and wants to talk down your price? So I'll give you the short version of it. I never, ever, ever, ever recommend lowering your price for someone. Ever, ever. Did I say it enough? Okay. And here's why is because the people who are going to talk down your price generally, guys, are going to be your most demanding, most difficult clients. Like I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I have so many people. It's like, Abby, I lowered my price. And just like you said, they are like the most difficult clients. Okay. Because you need to respect your own time, and the people that hire you need to respect your time as well. Now, there is the reality that sometimes your package just may be too expensive. If your smallest package is a package of 20 hours a month and it's $600 a month, and your client is like, I literally can only do 500. Like I cannot do 600 a month. That just is not in my budget. That's okay. That's not them like discrediting you or saying that you're not worth that time. They just don't have that. So what I would suggest in that circumstance is that instead of a 20-hour a week package, you come up with a custom 15-hour a week, or I'm sorry, instead of a 20-hour a month package, you come up with a custom 15-hour a month package. Okay. So you're not lowering your hourly rate. You're just lowering the package that they're getting. So that's one of the examples. All right. But never lower your rate. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Oh my goodness, Denise, I get this. I'm an introvert. I panic when it comes to actually jumping in, being more nervous about the people I know than even strangers. So I totally get that. And Denise, that's why we have so many other activities inside of our marketing plan that's not just friends and family. That's the starting point, and I would so recommend that you do it. I really, really would. As hard as it is, it can be a simple email. You type it, hit send, and then run away from your computer, right? But there's so many other ways to market. In fact, we have an entire masterclass all about just marketing for introverts, because we get it, right? I mean, there's so many of our Savvy System students who are introverts that come in with those exact same worries as you. So do not stress. We're gonna have you covered, okay? Is the Savvy Accelerator free for Savvy students? It is, yes. That is one of the things that anyone who is a previous Savvy System student does have the ability to join that 90-day accelerator for free. So you should have gotten an email if you're a current student about that. If not, you can email our team at hello@thevirtualsavvy.com, and we'll give you the info. We're going to be letting all our current Savvy System students in on Thursday, I believe. So you guys are about to get access to this as well, which I'm super excited for. And then, yeah, Hannah, can you do this while being an introvert? We already talked about that, but I'm seeing more and more. This is something that you guys want to talk about more. So we will, especially on Thursday, we can talk more in depth about that if you guys still have questions after the training. Okay. How do I package my services? What tools do I need as a novice? So again, we're going to talk packaging and pricing tomorrow. So just really make sure you guys are here tomorrow. I like this question. What tools do I need as a novice? Because the thing that one of the things I love about virtual assistants, guys, is I'm friends with a lot of small business owners. I have a friend who owns a food truck. I have a friend who owns a restaurant. I have a friend who owns a garage door installation company. I have a friend who owns a tub repair company. Okay, so I have lots of different entrepreneur friends. What I love about virtual assistants is the low startup costs needed as opposed to lots of other business, right? If you Google like most profitable businesses in 2026, like people are still saying like, storage units. Like, have you seen that before? People are like, oh, storage units, like this isn't amazing, which I get it. Like you build the storage unit and it's passive income from that point. However, like it takes a lot of money to build a storage unit, right? And you're going to have to take out loans. There's a lot of work that goes into that. And even storage units, I say they have like an 11% profit margin, which I mean, compared to a restaurant, which like if you have a 3% profit margin on a restaurant, you're doing good. So yeah, 11 looks good compared to that. But guys, our students, as we're just talking business model, sorry, I'm going to geek out like from a business standpoint. This is my education coming through. Not my, you know what I mean? Like this is my geeking out on business coming through. Okay, so the business model of virtual assistants, guys, our students 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, and 90% profit margins, depending on if they have a team or not. Okay, so like, and the low startup costs, because what do you need? You need the internet and a computer. Like that's all you actually have to get started. So many of the tools are free, or at least free in the beginning, right? So Dubsado and Honeybook, those are two CRM systems. They are systems that will help you to, organize your clients. You can send contracts, all of that. They have free trials. Google is coming out with more and more tools. So where, you used to have like something like Calendly or Acuity um, to book calls. So if someone wanted a discovery call, Google Calendar literally like just has that included now. So you can just set up a booking link with Google Calendar. I still really like Calendly and Dubsado, but if you're not ready for paid tools, use this free tool. Same with signature signing. You used to have to like have some kind of a software like DocuSign or HelloSign in order to sign contracts. And now you can literally send a contract and through Google Drive and you can get it signed for free. Invoicing software. Time tracking. I use Toggle for time tracking. I've only used the free version for only 10 years now. So what I love about virtual assistants is that really the startup cost compared to other businesses is so, so low. Oh, this is such a good question, Priscilla. How do you deal with patience that comes with waiting till you get first client? I think this is a really good question because the reality is that sometimes it's faster for some people than others. I was on a call just this past week with Becky. Becky's one of our students, and she has just been grinding it out, doing the things, just showing up. And I know that she's doing the right things, and it just wasn't happening. And she's like, oh goodness, like, okay, let's reevaluate, do this, do this, do this. Okay, she got back out there, nothing. Got back out there, nothing. It took her, I forget, I don't want to misquote how many months it took her, but it took her a couple months, okay? She literally shows up, she's like, Abby, I just signed my first client. Oh, and I have another discovery call tomorrow that it's looking like they are like gonna sign as well. And and for her, she's like, it is so, so, so worth the wait. So it's one of those things that you have to just keep showing up. But I do think that there's something to be said too about like, what are you doing in the time? Because I will talk to, because again, we have weekly coaching. So S.A.V.V.Y System Accelerator, you're going to get weekly coaching. If you already have a client, then we have a program called S.A.V.V.Y Vault that has weekly coaching, right? So I'm talking to you guys all the time. We're in it with you. So inside of our weekly coaching, what happens so many times, you guys, is people will be like, oh, it's been 2 months and I don't have a client yet. I'm like, okay, let's talk. Like, what type of activities are you doing? Da, da, da. Like, have you been to networking events? Have you done XYZ? Like, have you this with the marketing? And they're like, well, and like when I ask them if they have 5 hours a week to commit, how much of that time is actually being spent on active marketing, like getting yourself out there, applying to job ops? So a lot of them, they're like, oh, I'm not, because I'm scared, right? And fear ends up crippling us. And so that's why, honestly, we created this 90-day accelerator, because I think a lot of us just need that kind of fire under our butt to like actually do the thing. We need somebody saying, did you do the thing you said you were going to do? Whereas what we've always done before, again, 7,000 students, guys, we have hundreds, if not thousands of testimonials of the life change because people just said, I'm going to do this. But what our course was before was a self-paced, just kind of lifetime access. You can do this whenever it's good for you. And I truly believe we're going to get 10 times the results of all those successful students we had before, that we're going to see even bigger success with this 90-day accelerator, because there's just the accountability. It's the like, all right, 90 days, you in or you out, you're going to do it. And it's going to force us to kind of face that fear. So yeah, I know that was not fully what your question was, but I hope that it answers a little bit. Yeah. How to create consistent income? Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that virtual assistants, what we teach is that you sell reoccurring revenue packages. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, but your packages, you're not selling like, here's a package of 20 hours for $600. It's here's a package of 20 hours for $600 a month. And every single month, they will renew that. Okay. So this is why, as opposed to if I was just selling like an ebook or something, I mean, how many ebooks would I have to sell? And I just have to keep selling them more and more and more and more and more. Most virtual assistants can replace their income with 4 to 6 clients because you don't need hundreds of yeses. You don't need to chase down thousands of clients. You just need 4 people to say yes to your, $600 package, whatever it is, your $1,000 package. And so that's one of the things. Can you guys tell I'm a little obsessed with this business model? I love virtual assistants. I've just seen it change so many friends' lives. Literally, I have, because I mean, I have you guys, I have my, thousands of people in our community, all of this, but then there will be people that will come to me like Lisa. Lisa is a friend of mine that I know from here, right? Like my kids are involved in theater and she's involved in theater, and we get to talking, and she's, homeschools her daughter. And I'm like, hey, Lisa, you should really think about virtual assistants. And so she ends up taking the course, guys, 5 clients. She just started a couple of months ago. It was like right before Christmas that she started. And she's one of the testimonials you'll see like on our website and stuff, that it's just like, this has changed my life. And so it's like, that's why I do what I do. It's because I've just seen, guys, like this can truly, truly work. Okay. I'm worried about just the legalities, right? Taxes, LLC, all of that. Yes, we can cover so much of that. We'll show you step by step in the accelerator how to do all of that. No worries. We got you covered. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, what software do I need to learn? So again, it really depends on the services. So tomorrow we will talk about what services you're going to offer, and that's going to really help define what software you need to learn. Let's see. Sorry, some of the comments are like squishing together on my screen. Okay, yeah. I'm a current S.A.V.V.Y student, filled out the form. Yep, we've got you covered. So Thursday. Sorry, we took the intake form just to see how many of you guys. So there's a few hundred of you that are going to come into the accelerator. And so we'll be giving you guys that information of how to join on Thursday. So you have not missed anything yet. Let's see. How can I start off with high prices if I have no proof or testimonials? So again, we'll talk about some of this tomorrow, but my goal for you guys is to create hourly packages in the beginning, okay? So these hourly packages will be just your hourly rate times how many hours you can work, okay? So that's what you're giving. That's the value is, hey, I'm gonna take 20 hours a month off of your plate. And that's the value that you're exchanging. And so when you can communicate that value well, it doesn't really matter if you haven't been a VA. Most likely you do have some experience, right? Most likely you have something in the past that has helped you. We help you create a portfolio. And one of the things that you'll do inside of your portfolio is that you will have testimonials, right? But if you don't have clients, people are like, what do I do as a testimonial? We do what are called character testimonials. So you ask your best friend, you ask your pastor, you ask your kid's teacher, hey, I'm starting this business and I just need somebody to say, like, who knows your character, hey, Abby's awesome. I would trust her with anything. Boom, put that in your portfolio. Okay. They don't have to have a business for them to be able to have a testament of your character. And that's what we'll start with until you actually have or until you have testimonials. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so many introverts. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love this. Sarah said that my sister-in-law has been using the virtual S.A.V.V.Y. She's doing really well. She sent me the link to look at it. That's so great. So many different skills. It's hard to know which ones to do. That's okay. Take that quiz, guys. That quiz is going to help you a lot. So good. Yeah, totally your spreadsheet experience. I love that. Yes, that is very much needed. You should totally add that to your list of services tomorrow when we go over it, okay? Let's see. Is this session recorded? Yes, you guys are all going to get a link to the replay right after this is over. Oh, this is a great question from Elle. Do you recommend using a time tracking system that we share with clients or be more results based? So Elle, I am a huge fan in the beginning of tracking your time. Maybe not eventually, right? But I feel like that's stage 2. Like in stage 1, we're just doing hourly work. It's just the easiest way to get started. And so I definitely recommend you do that. I use a tool called Toggle, Toggl, and it will actually print off reports for you. And so it's a really great way to, like, you at the end of each week, you can download a PDF report and show your client where your time has been spent. And that is just really, really showing value to the client. And it's really good communication. And so that's what I recommend you do at first. Now, eventually, I love, and this is what we teach in S.A.V.V.Y, which is like, once you have your first client, come join S.A.V.V.Y. And that is where we teach you to raise your rates, to niche down, to start trading value instead of hours. Okay. But for most people, I tell them in the beginning, let's start with hourly because it's just the fastest way to find clients. And that's my whole goal for you guys. Honestly, if you're just getting started, I just want to get you a client as quickly as possible because we call it the first client hump. There is something really, really empowering that happens whenever you get that very first client that's like, oh my gosh, I can do this, right? That's why I think that that's important. Do my VA work hours have to be traditional hours? No. In fact, you don't even have to tell anyone your working hours, right? Like, that is the beauty of being an independent contractor, because an employer tells an employee, these are the hours you need to work. Like, an employer has the right to tell the employee, this is when I need you to work. An independent contractor, you are your own business owner. So you choose when and how you're at work. So if you want to work at 3 a.m., you can work at 3 a.m. That's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay. Cheryl, how important is it to use social media to market your business? I'm uncomfortable using social media for my potential VA business. Yeah, so there's lots of different ways to market your business, which we'll talk about on Thursday. And so social media is a great one, and we give you the tools to do that, but it's not the only way to market your business. So there are other options for you as well. Oh, Laura. So what do you do or say to small businesses who want to hire you on their payroll? So Laura, it's really a case-by-case basis. So when I was a new VA, I used Upwork to get clients. So that's one of the ways we teach you. It's not the only way, but it's a non-social media way to get clients, is on job sites like Upwork. And actually, the company Upwork said, we want to hire you. And so they wanted me to come on as an actual W-2 employee. So what I did is I really, really read the terms. And so it was about 20 hours a week that they wanted me, which was perfect, right? And they were willing to pay my rate. But they said I could still have other clients. There was no non-compete. And that's the biggest thing, is that, again, an employer can dictate, hey, we don't want you to have any other clients. And so that would be the downfall. And so you don't want to agree to that and then not be able to go get more clients, right? But if it's a position that, like, hey, I'm happy with the hours, or they say that they're going to be flexible with the hours, they don't mind that I have other clients, then really it's fine for you to accept a W-2 position. It's just going to look different, right? And so it's not a bad thing. You just want to make sure that the reasons that you started this business, the flexibility, the ability to grow your income, all of that can still be accomplished if you say yes to a W-2 position. You guys have such good questions. This is fun. We'll go about 5 more minutes, okay? What's the difference between the accelerator and the vault? So here at the Virtual Savvy, we have 2 programs, you guys. We have our accelerator, which is this 90-day fast track, launch your business, get your first client, okay? And then we have a monthly membership. At the time of this recording, it is $47 a month. And so $47 a month, cancel anytime. And that is weekly. So your accelerator, you're going to get the step-by-step blueprint to launch. Okay. It's how to set up your business, get your first client. Then in S.A.V.V.Y, which is our growth community, once you have your first client, that's where you can raise your rates, niche down. We have tons of courses in there, like how to be a real estate VA, or how to, specialize in QuickBooks, or we have all these different tech and industry trainings over there. And then we also have weekly group coaching over there as well. So that's kind of the difference. This is launch your business, get your first client, hyper focus 90 days. This is a monthly ongoing membership to grow your skills, to raise your rates, to get more clients. Okay. Are there any templates for the contract, and can they be applied for clients all over the world? Yes. So we do give you, inside of the accelerator, our VA toolbox, which is the contract kit that you need. And so that was created by a US-based attorney, although we have had students all over the world who have used the contract. We just always say, hey, rather than creating a contract from scratch, which I would not recommend, you might want to have a London-based attorney take a look at it, give their thumbs up. But again, we have had people from all over the world use our contracts. So, um, yeah, I saw on LinkedIn that Pinterest is having layoffs. I was hoping to do a Pinterest VA. Do you think it'll impact? So, Debbie, Pinterest is a lot different than it used to be, right? Like the heyday of Pinterest was 2018, 2019. And so it does not surprise me that Pinterest as a company is doing layoffs because Pinterest just isn't as popular as it used to be, right? However, I do know a lot of people who are still having great success. My friend Kate owns $1 million Pinterest agency, and so I'm really, really close to this industry. And so she they specialize, so they ended up niching down to mostly food brands and fashion brands because those are still the two industries that are doing really well on Pinterest, from a business marketing standpoint. A lot of, like in 28, there were a lot of bloggers. I mean, the virtual savvy, we were all over Pinterest, and now we don't do Pinterest at all just because it just stopped working for course creators, bloggers, things like that, in the same way that it used to. And so the brands that are really doing well are the food industry and the fashion industry. So again, if you choose to niche down, I would also ask, do you have a connection to that industry yet? There's ways to go about it if you don't, but those are the brands that are really having success on Pinterest right now. Um, let's see. So many questions. How do I join Savvy Vault? Maybe you already have a client. If that's something that you're interested in, guys, you can go to thesavvyvault.com. I'll have my team drop a link to it. Okay. Let's see. How do I reach out to a specific industry? I have 20 years of construction. Oh my gosh, Sonia, I love that. My good friend Thais, in fact, if you guys have not listened to her story yet, it's amazing. Go to YouTube. It's the most recent video that we released. Thais took the Savvy system. She decided to niche down to the construction industry, and she's one of our most successful business. She did $2 million last year in her VA business. She niched down to roofing contractors, moved her family to Brazil. It's seriously, go to YouTube when we're done with this and go to the Virtual Savvy on YouTube, and you will find our most recent video. It's such a powerful testimony. That is an amazing niche, like an amazing niche. Okay. There's a lot of money in the construction industry. So with that said, how do you reach out to them? Well, just like any other industry, if you have 20 years of experience there, I would first start with your contacts. And it's the scariest place to start, guys, but it's the best. Think about this, okay? Word of mouth marketing is and will always be the most powerful form of marketing, you guys. Always will be. And it makes sense, right? Like if I'm watching a TV show and there's a commercial, because although who actually has commercials? If I'm watching the Super Bowl, that's like the only time I watch commercials now. Okay, so, and there's a commercial for some toothpaste, right? It's like ultra whitening toothpaste. I might buy it. Like, okay, cool. But if I have a friend and I sit down to coffee with her and her teeth are super white and I'm like, oh my gosh, and she goes, Abby, you gotta try this toothpaste. This is the best. Like, this toothpaste is amazing. It's already in my cart. It's already bought. Like, right? Why is that? It's because we trust other people. Word of mouth marketing, referral marketing will and will always be the most powerful form of marketing. That is why we start there. Okay. And I know it's one of the scariest places to start, but you decided this is going to be your year, right? You decided that you were going to do scary stuff this year. And so I recommend that you reach out to the personal contacts. On Thursday, I'll share with you how to do it. Okay. So we can wait till Thursday. But you share with the people that you already know, and let them know that this is happening. That's where you start. There's tons of other different ways. There are LinkedIn, there's a LinkedIn strategy. There's high-end client target outreach, which is where you actually like make a dream list of clients and we reach out to them individually. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. But I think personal outreach is the best way to start. Okay. And someone's like, I have no network. How do I start? That's okay. That's okay. We have other ways as well. Okay. You probably do know one business owner. You have one friend. Come on. I know you have one friend that you can send it to. Even just the act of like, even just like the action of sending out that personal outreach template is super, super, I think, important just for our confidence. It's just, we got to get, if we're going to be business owners, we've got to get kind of used to doing scary things. I mean, that's the reality, right? Um, do I need to have, oops, okay. Here it goes. Do I need to have a niche when I'm starting out, or can I work with any industry? So I recommend you actually don't have a niche when you first start. Your niche, sometimes we forget that small business owner is a niche, right? Like you're not reaching out to anyone. Like a stay-at-home mom isn't your ideal client. A marketing assistant at a corporation isn't your ideal client. A small business owner is your niche. That's your client at the very beginning. Now, eventually you can niche down even further, right? So you may niche down by service. You may become a Pinterest manager or a podcast editor or, a real estate BA, which would actually be by industry. So there's niching down by service, or you can niche down by industry, right? Which would be I help authors, I help bloggers, I help course creators, I help real estate agents. You can niche down by both. You could say I create websites, service for real estate agents, right? That's a way to like double niche, right? But I wouldn't recommend 90% of us, I don't recommend you do that. If you've been building websites for 20 years, go ahead and be a web designer. If you've been doing social media for 10 years, be a social media manager, right? But if not, just be a general virtual assistant. Let's start there. If you have been in the construction industry for 20 years and you have contacts, shoot, I would maybe go ahead and be a VA for the construction industry. But if you don't have those really deep connections and ties, I would just start off as a general VA to small business owners. Okay. I actually don't recommend you niche down in the beginning. Eventually, again, stage 2 business, we're going to do that, but not stage 1. Why choose a VA instead of a business employing someone full time? This is a great question. So, small business owners hire VAs for so many different reasons. One, it's just a lot easier, like to not have to set up payroll and taxes. It's straightforward. Like as far, I mean, the amount, guys, my like health insurance went up 16% last year and the year before for my employees, right? And so like that's just something that every time you hire an employee, there's just a lot more to handle. Sometimes people can't afford to do an actual full-time employee, right? The straightforwardness of like, here's the output for what I get. So there's a lot of different reasons that people hire a VA instead. A lot of just remote companies, right? Like I don't need someone in the office. I just need someone to answer these emails remotely. Okay. Okay, you guys, these are so, so good. Here's what we're going to do because we hit the 1 hour mark and I know you guys still have questions, but we are going to cover those tomorrow. So again, I will do an extended Q&A with you guys tomorrow. We're going to discover your profitable skill set tomorrow. You will walk away tomorrow knowing what services you're going to offer, the rate you'll charge, and you will have your packages decided, okay? The people who have the most success in this training show up to all 3 days. So let me know, say, I will be here in the comments because I want to actually see you here because guys, tomorrow is jam-packed. We're going to take a lot of action and you're going to walk away with so much. So join me tomorrow. The link will be in your email on how to join. So just check your email. You'll have the link to join. And I'm so, so excited. This was really, really good. You guys asked really great questions. I'm very, very excited for you all. This is going to be a game changer for you, and it's just changed so many people's lives that it's just such a joy to be able to share it with you. So again, come ready to work tomorrow. Don't forget your homework assignments. Right, you're going to complete the time study, and you are going to take that quiz, the virtualsavvy.com/savvy quiz, and then join me tomorrow. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a good one.